Well, hello friends and welcome back. I'm so glad you're here. Today we are going to be doing a little what I've thrifted and how I'm styling it. I want to take you along as I put some things out around my home that I've thrifted lately. I feel like as summer comes to a close and fall is starting to ramp up, this will probably be the last vlog that I do before jumping into seasonal content. But our thrift store has really been hitting the spot lately in terms of like year-round wonderful household items and just things that I thought would be really beneficial to the function of my own home. I hope that you are having a wonderful day. I know that there's so much going on in our nation, specifically in the USA, in the world as a whole right now. And so today I just want to continue in my series of homemaking chats and today talk a little bit about peace as a homemaker, because it can be really hard whenever things in our own lives are spinning out of control, whenever the world around us is so very noisy, to find that sense of peace. And especially if like my house is not organized, I feel extra stressed and anxious, and there's just a lot of things that kind of go with that. But like we talked about last week, we do set the tone for the attitude of our home. So while it is a safe place for us as well as the people who we are tending to, it's very helpful whenever we're able to find that sense of peace and keep our head about us, you know what I mean? So we're going to be talking about that a little bit today. If you hear background noise, we are having our septic system replaced. So our yard is like all dug up right now. They're working hard to get that done for us and we're very grateful. But just a disclaimer, that's what you might hear in the background. First things first, as usual, I need to reset my kitchen really quickly because mornings getting the girls out the door into school, getting their lunches made and breakfast and all those things, it just, our kitchen gets left in a bit of disarray. So first we're going to reset the kitchen and then we're going to see what I found recently at the thrift store. I'm so glad you're here. The world outside can feel so loud and unsettled at times. If you've scrolled social media at all recently, you probably have noticed, as I have, there's a lot of noise and a lot of tension and maybe even some fear in the air. But here at home, in these spaces that we are tending to and the lives that we're building, we have the opportunity to choose something different, and that's peace. Now, this is not to say that we completely ignore everything going on in the world or hole up and live under a rock. It said that we as Christians should live with a newspaper in one hand and a Bible in the other. And I fully believe that. Like, we should know what's going on in the world, but then come back to truth and be grounded in God's word and what he says about finding peace in the midst of conflict and affliction. All right, so here's some of what I found recently. I found this mug tree, which, you know, we have mug storage. However, I hung that accordion peg shelf, which means it's probably not in studs, and it's holding about 6 mugs at the moment, but sometimes I go up to about 9 and I just get really nervous with it. So I don't like having a ton of stuff on my counters, but I thought this might be helpful to relieve some of the pressure from our wall. And then I found this little, I think this is probably a 4-inch cast iron, and you can see how deep the side is as well. I was actually looking up some different things that I could make with this size cast iron, and it was talking about like frittatas, or my mom suggested smaller batches of cornbread, which is a really good idea because we tend to make a normal size like 8-inch cast iron dish of cornbread and then it goes bad before we're able to eat it all. So I thought that was a wonderful idea. It looks like it has never been used, but I'm still going to give it a quick washing because in case you're like me and have always been scared of cast iron up until recently, you can actually put soap on cast iron and then just re-oil it, put it on a low eye on the stove until it completely dries and it's good to go. So I'm going to do that, but I'm also thinking I might make a breakfast frittata with this morning because I'm quite hungry. And then on my thrifting like scavenger hunt list, if you will, I've had Crocs. I love coming across Crocs. I think that they're so useful for all kinds of things. Plus they're beautiful. It's just great for storage and aesthetic. And so I found this teeny tiny one. Isn't that so cute? And this one would be simply for maybe a couple of kitchen utensils, but more so for flowers. This will be a vase, and I actually have not been cutting any of my flowers from the garden for quite some time. I've just been letting the butterflies enjoy them, but I think I might clean this up and then put a few flowers in it to finish off summer. I found a pizza stone. This is a Pampered Chef pizza stone, and I don't know, I would say that's probably about 12 inches. But they actually had 4 different stones just like this, but in different sizes and shapes, and I didn't know what any of them would really be used for, other than like maybe a flatbread pizza being a rectangle. Or so if you know, please let me know. I'm always looking for things to obviously level up our cooking. So I'm very excited for this because the homemade pizza dough recipe that I use actually instructs you to put your pizza stone in the oven while the oven preheats, and that way when you put your dough onto it, it's already warm. But all that I've had are like the cheap, you know, pizza pans, and like most of them were the $1 ones from Walmart, but I did have one that had better airflow. So I'm really excited to see how this goes and if it improves our homemade pizzas at all. And then I don't really know what category this would fall into, probably Christmas more so than anything, but I couldn't resist. I found a vinyl record. It's a Christmas sing-along and it has all of the classics. Oh Come All Ye Faithful, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen, Joy to the World, Hark the Herald Angels Sing, Go Tell It on the Mountain, Rudolph, The First Noel, just Oh Christmas Tree, all the good things. And I thought, we need that. It is completely fallen apart, but the record itself looks to be in pretty good condition. So I'm always looking for good records to add to our collection, especially Christmas records, because it's just so cozy to play vinyl at Christmas time and have some nice background music. So very excited for that. I just need to tape up the cover. Let's see how we can install some of these things around my home. I think it's important to note that peace is not just the absence of conflict, it is truly the atmosphere that we cultivate. And as homemakers, we are often the ones setting the tone for our homes, like I've mentioned previously. So while the news cycle and the commentary online will always be swirling, within our walls we can create rhythms that bring calmness. We can light candles in the morning. We can put on gentle music while we cook, or simply take a few deep breaths before the day really begins. I cannot tell you, it's changed throughout different seasons of my life, but it makes such an impact being able to wake up before my girls. And this is just something that, like, my girls are 3 and 5, and we are kind of just getting to a point where this is possible. So if you're still in the newborn or early toddler fog, get your sleep, do what you need to do. But in this season, it helps me so much to be able to wake up about an hour before my children and just let my mind figure out some things, like to get organized for the day. I read a chapter in my Bible, I pray, and then I knock out some content and different to-dos that I have on my list for the day, and that way I don't feel like I'm already starting like behind, you know, like I get some things finished before the sun comes up, and then I feel like I can handle whatever comes at me for the rest of the day. So maybe you've been feeling a little overwhelmed lately by everything happening in the world. I know many people who have expressed this, but peace often begins with very small choices. Choosing to speak gently instead of sharply, choosing to pause before reacting, choosing to step away from the scroll and step into the present moment with the people right in front of us. Actually, just tonight, I was sitting here on the couch trying to get some content done for my church that I've kind of been helping out in a volunteer role with, and my oldest daughter, Rosie, just sat down beside me and started telling me all about her day at kindergarten. It was very close to bedtime. It was extremely unprompted, and she just wanted to share some things with me. And it took me a moment to realize that I hope that she's still sitting down just like this to tell me about her day when she's 14 and 15 years old. That's not going to happen if I don't create those spaces now. If I don't invite that peace and that interruption in this season, she's not going to want to do it when she's older. So all of that to say, our homes don't need to be perfect, but when we tend to them with love and a desire for peace, they do become a refuge, not just for us, but for everyone else who walks through that door. So that was delicious. So good. I have so many ideas now, and I hope that it'll help me get better about eating breakfast, if nothing else, now that I have my little handy dandy friend of my 4-inch cast iron skillet, because I have such a bad habit of just like breezing right past breakfast. I'll grab like, I try to find something easy, but it doesn't last long. So I'll eat like a stick of cheese with my coffee, or I'll, you know, have a Pop-Tart or something that's not nutritious really. So I hope that this will help, because I enjoy cooking on it and it doesn't make so much that we have tons and tons of leftovers. Like I think I really want to make like a, I don't know, what would you call that? Like some kind of blueberry coffee cake or something. I think it would be perfect in the skillet, just like baked goods as well as actual cooked things. We have so many eggs, such an abundance. We need people to give eggs too. But I'm so glad that you chose to come along with me today for this little thrift style and homemaking chat on peace. I hope that maybe you feel encouraged to look for peace in your everyday moments as well. As the world continues to feel heavy and noisy, I just want to remind you once again that peace can begin right here at home with us as homemakers, in the way we care for our homes, our families, and our own hearts. I actually had someone on Facebook that we used to go to church with who shared something yesterday regarding the social issues and things going on right now that I just wanted to share, because it hit me very deeply, and I thought that it was just a very good point that many needed to hear. She said, "Friends, Jesus doesn't keep score of which tragedies you do or do not post about. Don't try to keep up with the scorekeepers today. Stay tucked into the Master. He knows your heart and he wants to hear about it from you today." And I just thought, thank you. Thank you for that reminder, because when we feel so encouraged and almost beyond led, like almost obligated to share about things, but I just need to take a step back and ask myself, like, is this actually something that will benefit people, or is this just adding to the noise and the anxiety and the stress of the world? Like, what do you want, Jesus? What do you want, Holy Spirit? And so I was just very grateful for her reminder, in that I just need to talk to the Lord about these things, about everything in my life, about everything in my home, everything in my community, everything in my country, and everything in this world. I need to take it all to him, because he's the only one that can do anything about it. So let's choose peace today and just let it ripple outward all around us through our children's hearts, who are so innocent and have no clue about anything going on in the world around them other than that very moment and what's happening in life itself. But anyways, I hope that you've enjoyed this, and I hope that you are having a great day wherever you're at, and I'll catch you next time. Bye guys.